We're very excited. Tony has been working very hard on putting this event together. As some of you all may know, he's written a book, and we're going to find out a little bit more about that book tonight. It's been kind of secret, but he has some real exciting news for us and some great things to teach. Tony and Meg, I met him about maybe a year and a half ago, my husband and I did, and they've been tremendous role models, supports, friends to us. And I just tell everybody, if you can get to know Tony Sama, get to know him, because he's just an awesome friend to have. So we are very excited to see what he has to teach us tonight. So just, if you have paper and pencil, you might want to get it out, okay? So we welcome Tony Sama.
Thank you, Mimi. Well, you know, this book for a lot of reasons, and the book's name is The FiveQuests. But a lot of you don't know me, so I'd like to start right from the beginning, because it's in the book. You know, I was born in 1955, I just gave you my age, in a little town called Perth Amboy, New Jersey. It's about 30 miles out of New York City. But it was freedom. I experienced freedom at a very young age. And to have that gift given to me, because that's kind of the way life was back here in Florida at the time. If it's your health and it's your choice. You have a choice in this. It's you. That's what the book is based on. Next, there's a dear friend of mine that has constantly asked me this question. He's in this room tonight. And I had to put this in the book, you know, because it's a big part of it. Can you answer this question honestly? Is what you're doing today going to get you where you want to be tomorrow? It's a big question. Answer it honestly. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell anybody that you really don't want to tell, but it's your answer. And if you say, yes, I'm where I want to be, maybe you're right. Maybe, just maybe. Notice I said maybe, because you haven't listened or learned about the FiveQuests yet. All I'm asking you is to open your mind when I show you the FiveQuests, and I just kind of crack a little bit what I think everyone in this room really needs, in fact, everybody in this world actually needs, is to crack open just that little bit and answer that question at the end. Is what I'm doing today going to get me where I want to be tomorrow? And how am I going to get there? There's an evolution that goes on, by the way. You know, for example, in the book, I explain it as a pack of ants. A pack of ants just kind of follows the other ant right behind the other ant, and they just follow each other around. They go ahead, and basically they're programmed. There's kind of something in the universe that God created that said, ants, you are going to do things a certain way. But, on the other hand, we're going to allow some of the ants not to do what all the other ants are doing. So if the lead ant goes ahead and he's going along and all of a sudden he walks into a fire, what do the other ants do? Most of them follow him right into the fire, right? It's like people today with the mortgage business, for example. Everybody just kind of walked right in and followed all the other ants. They were led by all the lead ants. But some people didn't do that. Why? They were different. Their thought process was different. What I'm saying is those ants now are going to survive. Those ants are going to teach. They're going to have this, if you believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, or whether you do or don't, that's okay. But those ants now have evolved. They are different. They have a different makeup. And they are now producing stronger ants that are more intelligent. If you have a job, which most people do, you have to trade time for money, don't you? Next, self-employed. You own a job. What are you doing? Again, you're trading time for money. Now, as an accountant, I understand this. You know, I work every day. I go ahead, and in order to produce enough income during the year, I have to trade a lot of time. Accountants, attorneys, doctors, unless they find a different way to do things, are backing themselves in a corner where they can only earn so much money per year. There is a ceiling to it because you're trading time for money. The next is the quadrant. On the right side is a business owner. This is where you own a system. You own a system, and people will help you earn money. It's the system that makes you money, not your trading time for dollars. In other words, to give you an example of what a business owner's mentality would be, is Bill Gates. He hired 500 people, basically, that said, I have an idea. He started with the first 100. He said, I want you as my team members. He got people that were really smarter than he was to work for him on his team. And he built that business with a system that these people basically made him the money because of their talents, because they were smarter. Michael Dell, Steve Jobs, Apple Computers. I could go on and on. These are people, you either the business owns you or you own the business. Next is an investor. An investor basically owns investments, and what does he do? He takes money, and he makes money by trading money for money, investing. So the mentality of these four employees are simple. Employees basically say, how much do I earn, and what are my entitlements? Entitlements are benefits and so on and so forth. A self-employed individual just kind of turns around and says, I don't need anybody, I can do it all myself. Those mentalities, by the way, go ahead and hit it. They share only 5% of the wealth of the world. The business owner's mentality is very simple. I mean, it's crazy. Have you ever sat down to calculate a credit card on how much when you pay that credit card, unless you have very low interest or zero interest, but they'll get you eventually, don't worry. It's all geared to basically for you to slip up, and we're human, and guess what we do? We slip up. They're going to get you. Credit cards, 80% normally are going to interest. And then I love the people that say, hey, I have a 6% mortgage. Really? Let me ask you a question. When you make your payment, you're paying that mortgage today on a $200,000 loan, your payment is $1,199. How much of that payment goes to your principal and how much to your interest? I know the number. $199 goes to principal, the other $1,000 goes to interest, and $1 a month comes off the other way. Okay? Now, tell me again, this year, how much interest are you paying? Because you're going to refinance anyway in 4 years. Well, why am I going to do that? Because the banks tell you to do it. Why do you think the banks tell you to do it? Because they start you all over again, right? Every 4 years, oh, get a lower interest rate. Oh, I have 6%. No, you don't. You got 90%, right? Think about it. It's stupid. It's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's a way that we show you, in the book, and you're going to see this, of how you can pay your mortgage off in 12 years or less by a simple thing. Don't refinance. Through a process called snowballing, okay?